Let's get into some shake. Hey, folks, welcome to the Outta Toon Podcast. This is Rick, and if you're listening and you're thinking, Outta Toon Podcast, I thought this was apocalyptic. Hey, don't go anywhere. You should have listened last week. I changed the name of the show. If you don't know anything about me changing the name of the show, you're lost. You're not even paying attention because it's been everywhere. It was on the news. It's all over the internet. Change the name of the show. I'm not going to go into why, because I already went into why last week and the week before. Just look on Facebook, look on the website, outtatoon.com, and you'll find out why it's like it is. If you're new to the show, this is your first time, then that's all you ever know is it's Outta Toon Podcast. And you're going to be like, what's this apocalyptic stuff I keep seeing? Because for a while, it's going to be confusing. The old shows are going to be talking about apocalyptic. New shows are going to be talking about Outta Toon. It's just going to be weird for a little while. So hang on. Just be patient, please. Some of the links don't work. Some of the stuff doesn't work. I've been working hard for the last week and a half, changing everything, changing links, oh, man. It's hard to change over just the name of a podcast. So if something doesn't work, number one, just be patient. Number two, let me know, because it might be something I can fix that I'm not aware of. But I think I've got all the major stuff done. But if you see something out there that says apocalyptic, just send me a note. Just say, it says apocalyptic over here. And then I could fix it. I could change it. But some of it may be in the process of change. It just takes a little while for the wheels to turn, for everything to happen. But I'm really excited about it. How about you? So one of the things that I don't have yet is I've got to fix our merch. So the T-shirts that are up on the website still have apocalyptic.com. Don't buy those. Don't buy my merch. Where do you ever hear anybody saying that? Don't spend your hard-earned money on the merch. I'm going to get some cool stuff, new stuff, better than what we got, because it won't have my face on it. And I'm sorry for those of you who bought the classic. I mean, really, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like owning a Saturn. It's still good, but it's just hard to get it fixed. But the new stuff is going to be good too. Old stuff will still work. You type in apocalyptic, and you'll still go to Outta Toon Podcast. So anyway, just let's all be patient, okay? I know patience not a number one thing these days. But you guys, I know you guys will do it. I'm feeling good. How you doing? This is we're almost at Thanksgiving. Can you believe it? Almost at Thanksgiving. Let me just say this really quick. If you leave the lid off of the soy sauce, if you don't close the lid tightly on the soy sauce, and just somebody takes it out of the refrigerator and shakes it, there's going to be soy sauce everywhere. So please put the lid on the soy sauce tight. Put it down, close it. That's not aimed at anybody particular, I'm going to say. I'm just saying randomly, if it happens in your house, I'm trying to help out. This is not aimed at anybody in particular. All right. So I'm good. I'm already planning the dinner that we're going to have next week. You doing that? So some people don't plan it. I used to not plan, but I have to plan. And I guess, I don't have kids. I don't have grandkids. I don't have strangers showing up at my house. This is my wife and myself. Occasionally, we get a guest to come over. But I don't think we are this year. It's going to be us. So we don't care. We're just going to do whatever we want to do. We make too much food. We figure out how we're going to eat it all. We're going to try not to do that this year. But see, I always think, what if at the last minute we find somebody, we just, a friend comes into town, or we discover that somebody that we know they're not going to have a Thanksgiving, so we can invite them over and force them to eat vegetarian turkey. Now, my wife sometimes makes a real turkey, so that maybe, I don't know what she's going to do this year, but usually it's fake turkey. So, but yeah, we have all the staples, and we're working on it. We're coming up with a menu. I don't know. I used to be really traditional. I had to have all of the traditional stuff. I'm a little more laid back these days. I'm okay. I don't even have to have it here. We can go somewhere else. I'm a little more open to not just staying home like I used to. I couldn't do that. But we're going to put up our Christmas stuff this weekend. Hey, what do you think of that? You can't stop me. Gonna do it. I don't care if you don't like it. Yeah, we're going to do it. I think we're going to put up a tree. Make everybody in the neighborhood mad. Why not? Tree and all of the stuff. Again, we don't have kids. We're not going to embarrass anybody. We're not embarrassed by it. I would have had it up the 1st of November, except I'm lazy. I couldn't do it. Still taking down Halloween stuff. So, but yeah, this weekend, Christmas weekend, going to start celebration. I'm already over the Hallmark Christmas movies. I've overdosed. I just run them all day. It's lazy. It's complete laziness. And it's just, I'm tired of them already. I'm just, every day, I'm sick to death, and I still turn them on. It's like when you're 17 and you first start, well, maybe 14, and you first learned about masturbation, and then you're like, oh, I'm not going to do this. And then you're doing it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 times a day. And you're like, I'm not going to do that anymore, ever. And then like the next day, you're up to 8. I shouldn't be talking about masturbation. I'm sorry if that's a trigger for anybody. Yeah. Now I got to change the rating of the show. Crap. I hope masturbation doesn't offend you. If masturbation offends you, you're doing it wrong. That's all I'm saying. It's like, never mind. It's better than turkey. That's all I'm going to tell. It's Thanksgiving. Let's tie it in together. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm tired of the Hallmark movies already. I can get let's say 3 minutes into the movie. So I used to have this thing where I'm a Gilligan's Island person. I was really good at Gilligan's Island trivia. I could out trivia anybody when it had to do with Gilligan's Island. Kind of forgot a lot about it, and I haven't watched a lot of Gilligan's Island in a while. But I think I'm still pretty good. But I used to have this thing I would do when I was a kid. When Gilligan would come on, I would like, how quick can I name what the episode is? How quick can I, just by what's happening in the opening credits, can I just say, this? I know what's going to happen here. This is when the Japanese soldier comes in and he holds them all hostage, and he thinks the war is still on. The racist episode, the guy plays a cartoon Japanese soldier. It's offensive if you're Japanese or human being, really. But that's what they did back then. So let's try to understand it, okay? What character on Gilligan's Island wasn't really offensive? I mean, it was all stereotypes, right? Anyway, so I could do that with Hallmark movies. I like, as soon as they come on, not identified, but I could tell you what's going to happen. I'm just like, oh, I see. So that girl right there, she's going to give up her job so she can marry that guy. That guy's going to become a lawyer. He's going to, I could tell you all of the stuff that's going to happen, like within 3, 4, 5 minutes. If I'm like really having trouble, if I'm struggling, it's going to take me 5 minutes, and I could write the whole thing out. I already know. So I'm tired of it. I'm already tired, but yet there I go. I still watch it. I got to stop. Speaking of stop, I'm stopping growing my hair next Wednesday, getting a haircut. I've decided this year I'm cutting my hair lengthwise instead of across. Wouldn't that be weird if you just went in and you told the people, I want my hair cut, like I want each strand cut in the middle? It would take forever, but I just wonder if anybody's ever tried that. I'm not really going to do it. I'm going to get my hair cut, but I'm just tired of my really, really long hair. I want to say I'm too old for it, but I'm not too old. I've seen a lot of old guys with long hair. But the problem is styling. I don't have, my hair's long, but it's not styled, and it's getting in my mouth, my food. I don't like it anymore. So I'm cutting it. Going to cut it. About a third of it gone. Still, I like longer hair, so I'm going to keep it a little bit longer. All right. Anybody got a picture of that I should cut my hair? Send it in to me Rick, you could email it, Rick at outtatoon.com. That's OUTTATOON, one word thing there, .com. Rick, R-I-C-K, in case you can't spell. Saw a cool shirt. I thought it said Moby Rick. It said Moby Dick, but I thought it said Moby Rick, and now I want a Moby Rick shirt. I just want a shirt that just it just says nothing but Moby Rick. And people be like, what does that mean? I want a Moby Rick shirt. Is that too much to ask? It's Christmas time. Somebody send me one. Speaking of sending, ordered stickers. So I've been talking about it, and we're going to have stickers for the show. I don't know why I didn't have him. You know, there was something. I loved Apocalyptic Name. I liked. I've already talked about it. I like that brand, but there's just something about it I didn't connect with, and I kept thinking I might change. It might change. The podcast might fail, and so I didn't get stickers printed. And now here we are. This is like the first whole real Outta Toon podcast episode, and I've already got stickers. So stickers are coming in. If you want one, let me describe the sticker to you. So got the logo. Now, here's the thing on the logo. The logo could mean almost anything that you want, but I like the fact that it looks kind of like the Scottish flag. So you got the little kind of, it looks like graffiti, really. You got the little kind of blue circle with the white, really kind of spray can outline, and then you got this white cross in the middle of it. I like that. So I'm printing some shirts that just have that on it because I think it's really cool. But it's also it's the name of the show, OT. It's an O and a T. Outta Toon Podcast. But we're also the Scottish flag. We're back at our roots, you know, like the Life and a Kill podcast. I love it. So the new stickers have like a much bigger version of that. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but the OT Scottish flag kind of cross thing, it's much bigger. And then it says Outta Toon Podcast. I don't think it has my name on it because nobody wants that. But it does have the web address really small on it. And it's on black, and it looks really cool. And so what I think I'm going to do, so what we've done in the past when we've given away stickers, just like you just let me know, and I'll send them to you. And it's basically that. You get them free. You don't have to really do anything. But I'm asking this year, this time, not this year. I have a new podcast every year. No, I'm asking this time, you got to do something. Come on, help me out. The podcast needs some help. So what I would like for you to do is just to post one thing. Just post on your website that you listen to the podcast and just say, here, listen to this. It's a cool podcast, whatever. Tag me in whatever. I can see it. I know. And then then just let me know what your mailing address is, and I'll send you a couple of stickers. They're going to be hot off the press. I think they're coming in the end of this month, which is just in a few days, really. So that'll be kind of fun. New stickers. Yeah. I'm looking forward to putting one on my car. If you're doing any traveling, be careful. Let me tell you, so all kinds of things happen. I'm not a big traveler, and when I do, I usually do it on the road. You got to be careful on the road, too. But so I follow, I'm not going to go into all the details. One of my favorite artists, Jonathan Brooke. Jonathan Brooke. It's just like Jonathan with no N. Jonathan Brooke. She's a fantastic songwriter, fantastic performer. Seen her in concert several times. I've been listening to her since the 90s. I love her. One of my favorite artists of all times. And I follow her on social media, and this week she posted a photo. So she flew Delta, and the TSA, which is the security people, well, I guess they do it randomly. They needed to check her suspicious looking guitar case. You know how they do. And I guess it was locked. They couldn't get it open. So they had to pry it open. And when they pried it open, they pretty much demolished her guitar. She's a professional musician. She doesn't do anything. She travels the country singing. She's a professional musician. Now, I don't know anything about guitars. If you know something about guitars, this guitar was, I don't know. I'm hoping she can repair it. It looked really bad. It's an acoustic Olson, O-L-S-O-N, guitar. I think it was like custom made antique. Listen to this. $35,000 guitar. My car doesn't cost $35,000. Holy crap. See, I remember reading, I think I read with Jason Isbell's guitar is like $150,000. I was like, what? But it makes sense, right? These people, they're professional musicians. It's what they do on the road. They play music all the time. Their guitars have to stand up to all kinds of punishment, and it's got to sound fantastic. And it has to sound fantastic every night, forever. And plus, they're making tons and tons of money, right? So they can afford that. 150. My first house didn't cost $150,000. Jason Isbell, and that's a cool looking guitar too. But this one was $35,000, and it was just ruined. And they won't do anything. I'm hoping she had it insured, but they're just like, nope, nothing we can do about it. Sorry. How does that happen? That's like if they're screening you, and they accidentally chop your leg off, and then they're like, oh, sorry, it just happens. That's what happens when you travel. Too bad. That's insane. So she's written them several letters, and every letter they send back is basically like a form letter saying, sorry, you should have read the disclaimer. There's nothing we can do about it. Happens all the time. I don't know what to think about that. It's just, it's infuriating. And that didn't happen to me, and it's still infuriating. I can't imagine if it happened to your livelihood. Like somebody just completely smashing your car and you can't get to work anymore. So obviously she's going crazy and would like to, I'm hoping it's insured, and I'm hoping it can be fixed. I've seen, so, I'm really into like double bass, upright bass, love that. And I kind of like, I had one for a little while, and I like getting into the how they're made. And I follow a company, Upton Bass, up in, I think, Massachusetts, Maine, maybe somewhere up in there. They're all the same, right? They're always posting pictures of these old, rugged basses that come in that are like falling apart, and they restore them. And it's just exciting to me. I just love it. And I'm hoping there are people that could do that for them, but it's not going to be the same, is it? I mean, like if you got a brand new car and then it's crashed, and then you fix it, and they fix it to look exactly like it was before, you still know always that at one point it was crashed. It's always going to be on the record. It's a stain forever. So be careful, people. Watch out. Just protect your stuff. I don't know all the rules. I don't know if you're supposed to. I mean, wouldn't you have to lock your stuff? It's got to be secure. You don't lock it, it gets stolen. You do lock it, the TSA is going to bust it up. That doesn't make sense. Somebody's got to be responsible. We're responsible if we take a pair of nail clippers onto a plane. Why can't they be responsible if they break a $32,000 guitar? Sorry, I got a little bit steamed up there. Anyway. All right, be careful is all I'm trying to tell you. It's all I'm trying to say. All right, this week, Thanksgiving. I've been thinking a lot about it. I just on social media, people, the rudeness on social media, I see it all the time. And I don't go to like big family things anymore. And my wife and I, we don't fight at Thanksgiving anymore. We decided not to do that. No, we don't have that kind of craziness. And some people do, especially when you got like people on different ends of the political spectrum, not just Thanksgiving, any holiday, any gathering, any family gathering, right? So anyway, I have here from Psychology Today, these are some ways to de-escalate problems with your Thanksgiving. When you have your Thanksgiving, when you've got the people who are there causing trouble, you might be the troublemaker. If it is, back off, man. All right? Just back off. But if you're not, and you don't know what to do about it, and you're dreading it, like, Uncle Tom is going to be there this year. He's, how he is. Aunt Karen, and Diane. I'm sorry. I don't like using the word Karen. I know Karens have had enough of it. Sorry, Karens out there. So here's what you do. These are 20 tips for de-escalating. Number one, stay calm. That's the hardest thing for me. I have a hard time staying calm. I want to jump right in, start throwing punches, but I can't. Just stay calm. Usually when you're not staying calm, it means they've got to you. They hurt your ego. They attacked something that you are holding on to valuable, and you shouldn't do that with any opinion, because opinions constantly change, and the opinion you hold the most valuable right now might end up changing. There are things that I think that I live today that when I was younger, I would have thrown myself out of the room for even thinking. So be careful. Stay calm, number one. Try to do it. Learn that skill. It's very valuable for a lot of things. Number two, use your body as a medium for expressing calm. In other words, if everybody's freaking out, just be calm. You don't have to sit down in cross-legged position, meditate. Just don't. I always like to say, stay away from the fray. Don't jump in it. Don't just be careful about being aggressive or looking like you're being aggressive. Number three, if they're speaking, listen carefully to what they say, the words they use, what they repeat, and especially what they say first, because these are the things that they find very valuable. I think a lot of times you could just, I don't know, for me, you could just go, okay, hadn't thought about it that way, and then just let it go. Because they need that. They need to be able to express it, all right? Number four, validation is so invaluable when it comes to de-escalating emotions. That's what I'm saying. Just validate what they say. Listen to it. Don't throw it off. You can just say, well, I see that opinion a lot online. I've talked to some other people who think that way. It's not my opinion, and I understand what you're saying. That's all they want. Because nobody else gives it to them. So yeah, that's what they're looking for. All right, number five, ask open-ended questions and show genuine interest in the other person's experience and perspectives. And in doing so, try to put yourself in their shoes. I think that last part is the best thing. Just like if you were thinking that, if you were them, a lot of people just don't know how to express their opinions effectively. So I think that's the main thing, is just realize, so people nowadays are so aggressive. They're so rude. And a lot of people feel like that in order to express their opinion, it has to be followed or coupled with an attack. And it doesn't. But that's the way people communicate nowadays, because we haven't learned any better. So just realize that it's not necessarily about you, okay? Number six, don't sit in judgment. That's bullcrap. Judge them all you want. No, don't. But that one's a hard one, okay? Number seven, hard as it is sometimes, check your ego at the door. Hey, someone just said that. That's usually what it's about, ego. When you're talking about opinions always are attached to ego, always. Even yours. Even what I'm saying right now. So don't challenge it. It's my podcast. Get out of here. Turn it off. All right, number eight. In dealing with coworkers, wow, I've never gotten into a big argument with coworkers. In dealing with coworkers, remember, these are people you must work with every day and perhaps for years to come. Think long-term harmony. Also think Bone Thugs and Harmony. That always helps in every time I need to de-escalate something. All right, and number 9, in silence, acknowledge with your eyes through arched eyebrows or by tilting your head or nodding. Goes back to the body thing, Again, try to validate without validating. I just think that you don't have to agree with them, It's hard to do. I know. I'm telling you things that I don't practice. I hate doing that, but that's a hard one for me. Number 10, avoid crossing your arms and legs, as this can create the illusion of a barrier between you and the other person. Not necessarily illusion, but just don't let them know. All right, number 11, if the other person is feeling anxious or uncomfortable, often reassurance and support. Sometimes you could just say, well, what do you think about, just let them talk. Even if what they're saying is hog shoosh. Is that a word? Ask them for more, because we've asked them for something else. They're used to being cut off. A lot of times people are just used to being cut off. So ask them for some more information. Say, oh, really? Well, what do you think about that? And just let them talk for a little while. Then they think, oh, this guy he likes what I'm saying. He understands. And then they'll shut up. Number, what are we on? Yeah, number 12. Be mindful of the other person's personal space and their personal property. In other words, don't punch them in the face. Don't pick up their purse and set it afire. All right. Number 13, if the person is a stranger, ask them their name if possible. Use an honorific if it applies. Professor, if you're arguing with your professor. I'm sorry, if you're arguing with your professor, you've lost. You got to agree with them or they're going to flunk you. Number 14, don't feel you have to stay in one place. Sometimes between colleagues, going for a walk, sitting outside, or sitting side by side on a bench rather than across from each other helps to relieve the tension. So you don't have, if it's getting, again, you might not be doing it, but other people could be very aggressive, and you don't have to stay there. And if it's just bugging you, if you're about to explode, leave the room for a while. Go do something else for a little bit. Watch some football. Don't feel obligated to sit there while the other person's yelling at you. It's important. Let's see here. Number 15, if the situation is escalating and emotions are running high, consider taking a break. Well, that's kind of what we just said. Number 16, use positive language to create a more positive environment. That's something. So it says, for example, instead of saying, I can't help you with that, say, let me see what I can do to help. So I feel like that's kind of the key to everything, even if it's a negative situation. And that's what de-escalating is. You're defusing it, right? You're looking for ways that instead of becoming a brick wall, you could do like Bruce Lee. Holy crap. And maybe Lenny Bruce said this too. But Bruce Lee used to say, be like water, not a brick wall. You be like water. You just give whichever way that it goes, because that's where your strength is. You actually, like if someone's punching a wall, or if they're punching Jell-O, they're more likely to hurt themselves if they're punching Jell-O, because they're going to hit really hard. They're going to end up doing more damage to themselves. Nothing's there to stop them. So they take every single bit of the force. And if you can learn to do that with your argument or your words, be soft, take their blows and not send it back, you can end up doing more damage, letting them do more damage to themselves. Right? Number 17, look for areas of agreement and shared interest. That one's a hard one, but it's also a good idea. Number 18, if possible, suggest a solution that can help to resolve the issue at hand or viable options. Like try to get it over with really quick. If there's a way to do it, I don't know. When you're dealing with politics, I don't know. What do? Just like, let's talk about this after the election. So I don't know how you put it off, but all right. Number 19, if a weapon is brandished, you're in the wrong argument. Any kind, distance is your best help. Distance and the cops. Yeah. If someone's pulling out a weapon, get out and call the cops and don't ever go back. I don't care if it's grandma who pulls a shiv on you. All right. Number 20, don't forget to reward individuals who begin to de-escalate by relaxing even further. Okay. That's what I think. I feel like what I have seen in the past, it doesn't happen all the time. What I've seen in the past is if you give them their space, if you give them their megaphone for a short amount of time, a lot of times they'll just blow it out and then they're done. They'll relax. They'll sit back. It's like, yeah, okay, I said my piece. And you can get on, just let them. That's what Thanksgiving should be. Like the first several minutes should be everybody just kind of getting out their opinions, what they think, and then just letting it go. And then it kind of sort of like de-escalates itself, right? It's like eating. You eat a lot. You pile up all this stuff on your plate, eat a bunch of it, eat as much as you can, and eat a lot of it really, really quick. And then it's like, I can't do it anymore. And you sit down, you unbuckle your pants, Everybody unbuckles their pants after my arguments. I don't know why, but I mean, that's just the way it is. It's just like people tired of it. Can't do anymore. Got to relax. Got to rest. Need a nap. So there you go. That's how you de-escalate Thanksgiving. I hope you look. I wish you luck. I know I've got a big family. I've had a big family, and I don't hang out too much with jerks anymore. I don't hang out a lot with people who don't have respect for other people's opinions. I was watching. I just read a lot of stuff last night. Arguments on social media right now. You know, the big thing is like Israel versus Palestine. That's what everybody's fighting about. And you got to choose. You got to choose. Nobody. People aren't patient if you don't choose. You got to have an opinion. You got to have it all worked out. These people haven't had it worked out in 100 years? Maybe not that long, but they haven't worked it out. How am I supposed to work it out? I'm not the ambassador. I don't know the solution. I just don't want people being killed. I don't want people being hurt. I want people living in peace. Saw a great documentary. I don't remember if I mentioned it last week. It's just called Gaza. It's about people living in Gaza. It's heart-wrenching. It's these people have to live in an environment where at any moment they're just blown up. That's going to affect anybody. And you could sit and argue about why it's that way, whose fault it is, what the karma is. Almost every time, it's the government's fault. You know, you're not the person who makes the decision in most of the government stuff. You vote for people who are in there, but you might not like what they're doing, even though you voted for them. It's not your fault. It's the same with them. And they don't even have as much power as we have most of the time. So you can't blame the average person there. They're just like us. They're being fed things and they act on the information that they're fed. But basically, people just want to have a great life. They just want to relax. No, they don't want injury to other people. They just want their own house. They don't want to live in a place that's going to get blown up. So I don't know. I don't feel like that it solves any issues getting online and arguing with somebody. They're not sitting there waiting for you to hammer it out online before they come up with anything. Whatever you do, the insults you throw at each other, that's not going to affect anything, except it just drives a wedge between two more people that can't tolerate each other. And now they're steamed that much closer to a heart attack. Just relax. Have some turkey. I don't eat turkey, but the tryptophan, right? Is that what it is? In turkey that relaxes you. It's like a drug. Turkey is basically a drug. And people put rosemary on a turkey. In Ohio this year, they're putting a different herb on turkey. I've heard, according to the polls. We don't have that here in Georgia, in Atlanta. We will at some point. And but that makes your turkey much more relaxing. And then you don't care. You don't care about that other stuff. Just avoid hurting the people. Let's work out our issues without trying to attack each other. Is that possible? Oh, no. I don't know. Well, find things to be thankful for and come back Monday. Maybe I'll have something interesting to talk about.